Scrappy had always thought he could balance it all. New beginnings, old wounds, fame, family, and now, love. That's what he kept telling himself when he pulled up to the open house with Britney, riding shotgun. The house was big. 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, hardwood floors, a backyard that looked like it was built for little ones who didn't even exist yet. He didn't say it out loud, but in his head, he pictured a new chapter. Not just a new crib, a new life. Britney, with her polished real estate smile and flawless curls, was walking ahead of him like she already owned the place. She was charming, the agent, snapping selfies in the kitchen, talking about lighting, future babies, and walk-in closets. Scrappy laughed, but deep down, something tugged at him, not doubt, just unease. He should have trusted it. Britney turned to him and smiled. I really want your mama to see this, and I want Imani to feel welcome. That's when Scrappy's stomach dropped. He didn't want to bring Mamadee into this, and especially not Imani, his daughter, who didn't take kindly to strangers acting like they were family. But Britney insisted. It's just a soft intro, she said. She doesn't have to like me today. I just want her to see I'm not some temporary fling. Scrappy nodded, against his better judgment. The moment Mamadee pulled up, the temperature dropped, not physically, just emotionally. That woman could shift the air in any room with a glance. She stepped out of her car like royalty, rocking sunglasses, a floor-length cardigan, and a look that said, "Don't waste my time." Behind her was Imani, arms folded, lips tight, wearing a teenage expression that screamed, "This is your idea, not mine." Scrappy greeted them like he was introducing dignitaries. "Ma, Imani, this is Britney." Britney smiled, held out a hand. Mamadee looked at it like it might bite her. "So you're the one," she said flatly. Britney laughed awkwardly, unsure how to respond. Imani mumbled a quick hello, barely looking up from her phone. They stepped inside. The house, once warm and welcoming, now felt cold and hollow. Britney tried to lead the tour, pointing out the kitchen, the bathrooms, the natural light. Mamadee wasn't listening. She was inspecting, studying, judging. That's what she did. And when they reached the master bedroom, she finally spoke. "So what exactly do you do again, Britney?" "I'm a realtor," Britney said. "Been in the business for 6 years." Mamadee smirked. 6 years in real estate and you looking to buy a house with my son, not just sell one." Britney didn't flinch. "We're building something real." Imani coughed in a way that sounded suspiciously like a laugh. Scrappy gave her a look. She looked away, the tension grew. Mamadee wandered toward the walk-in closet and mumbled, hope this ain't no borrowed dream." That should have been the end of it. Just shade. Just passive aggression. But Mamadee never left anything halfway. That night, she went home and started digging. Not because she was nosy though she was, but because something didn't sit right. Britney was too polished. Too rehearsed. And Mamadee had learned over the years that women who seemed perfect were often hiding something. She searched social media, real estate licenses, tagged photos. At first, it was normal. Standard listings, client selfies, open house posts. But then she found a tagged image. An old one. Britney in a black dress, holding hands with a man who wasn't Scrappy. The caption, "Can't believe it's been a year already. Happy anniversary, babe." Mamadee zoomed in. The man was tagged. She clicked. His profile was private, but the name was there. Brandon M. Wallace, and in the bio, husband, father, fighter. Her heart pounded. She didn't jump to conclusions. Not yet. Instead, she did what any Southern mother with time, curiosity, and a glass of wine would do. She went to public marriage records. It took 30 minutes. But when the page loaded, her breath caught. Britney Marie Green and Brandon Marcus Wallace. Married. March 2, 2020. No record of divorce. Mamadee stared at the screen. Blinked, refreshed. Searched again. Same result. Britney was still married. She sat back in her chair, stunned. A slow smile crept across her face, not because she was happy, but because she had just won a war she hadn't even started, and now, she was going to finish it. The next morning, Scrappy was in the studio when he got the call. "Mama, you need to come by." "Alone? Why? What's wrong?" "I got a wedding gift for your lil realtor." He knew that tone, that icy, loaded tone. He left the studio immediately. At her house, Mamadee didn't say much. She just slid a printout across the table. Scrappy picked it up, read it, and felt like he had been punched in the throat. Marriage certificate. Still active, Britney's name. Another man's name. Date county. Seal. He shook his head. Nah, this can't be. She married. Baby. And she lying to you. She said she was divorced. Well, the state of Georgia disagrees. Scrappy sat in silence, mind racing, chest tight. He remembered all the conversations, all the I love yous, all the talk about building a future, and now it felt like none of it was real. I'm gonna talk to her, he said finally. Mamadee leaned back. You do that, but do it before I do. 'Cause if I get to her first, I swear for Lord it won't be quiet. Later that night, Scrappy invited Britney over. He didn't yell, didn't explode. He just sat across from her and laid the printout on the table. She stared at it for a long time. Then, I was going to tell you, when it was time, when it made sense. It's complicated. Complicated how? Either you're divorced or you ain't. We're separated. He lives in Alabama. I haven't seen him in over a year. Still married though. She nodded, eyes glossy. I didn't want to lose you. You lied. I was scared. Scrappy stood up, walked to the window, looked out at the street like answers were written in the pavement. You could have told me the truth. I would have respected you more. She got up, tried to hold his arm. He pulled away. You brought my mama into this, my daughter, and you let them look at you like you was the future when you ain't even closed the past. Silence. I'm sorry, she whispered, but sorry wasn't enough. Not this time, not this time. Mamadee had seen a lot in her lifetime, but nothing tickled her petty nerve quite. Like watching a grown woman try to backpedal through a lie with lip gloss and crocodile tears. She let Scrappy handle it first. Gave him space. Let him confront the betrayal one-on-one. But once she got word that Britney was still showing her face like everything was normal, still tagging real estate listings, still wearing that same silver ring she claimed was just for fashion, Mamadee's patience cracked. And when patience cracked, war was next. She didn't bother calling ahead. She just showed up. Walked straight into Britney's office like she owned it. Britney was sitting behind her desk, sipping on iced coffee and pretending like her life wasn't on the verge of collapse. The second she looked up and saw that all-black outfit with the matching purse and pearls, she knew what time it was. Mamadee didn't waste a second. You lied to my son. You lied to my granddaughter. And you had the audacity to smile in my face while you were still married to another man. Britney opened her mouth to explain but got cut off. Don't even try it. You had time to sell houses, take vacations, and play mama to a man you still legally can't marry. Britney stood up, her voice shaking but firm. I never meant to hurt Scrappy. I love him, and that marriage it's been dead for years. I just haven't followed through. Freed yourself. Mamadee snapped back. Sounds like excuses to me. And I'm too old for fairy tales. The two locked eyes for a long, brutal pause. Britney finally sat back down, deflated. I was scared of losing him, she whispered. You should have been scared of me. That moment went viral within hours. Someone, likely an assistant, had captured part of the confrontation on their phone and leaked it. The clip hit Instagram like a bomb. Comments exploded. Twitter threads unraveled the timeline. Fans began comparing Britney to other infamous love and hip-hop liars. Memes of her marriage certificate were floating around with captions like, "This listing ain't cleared yet, sis." But that was just the beginning. 3 days later, Scrappy got a DM from a verified account. It was a man named Brandon Wallace, the husband. The real husband, and his message was cold, calculated, and dangerous. Tell your girl to stop pretending she's single. If she don't make it legal soon, I will. On camera, Scrappy sat frozen, staring at the message. Then came a screenshot of the actual marriage license again, this time accompanied by a selfie of Brandon, shirtless, holding a baby. The caption read, "Family over fraud." He didn't want to believe it, but the timing was too exact. The smile in the man's face was too smug. This wasn't just about Britney lying, this was about someone weaponizing it, and now, Scrappy was in the middle. When Britney showed up at his house that night, she looked exhausted. No makeup, hoodie, hair tied back. She looked more real than ever before, but the damage was already done. Scrappy didn't yell, didn't hug, just opened the door and let her explain. He was supposed to file. We agreed. We separated in 2021, and he moved out. I thought it was over. But he's mad I moved on. Mad I found someone better. He's trying to hurt me through you. Is that his kid? Scrappy asked. Britney paused. Is that his kid? She looked away. Yes, so you had a baby with a man you still married to and didn't tell me. It was before you and me got serious. I didn't think you didn't think. Or you didn't want to tell me the truth. He barked. I didn't want to lose what we had, she whispered. What we had was real. Until I found out. You still belong to somebody else. Those words cut her like glass. She turned, ready to leave, but he wasn't done. You don't get to paint yourself as the victim here. You had every chance to come clean. And just like that, Britney's image started to unravel. VH1 producers, who had originally pitched her as a strong, sophisticated woman with a career and clean slate, began to pivot. Suddenly, edits were darker, music cues more ominous. Cutaways lingered longer on her fake smiles and shady side glances. She was no longer the new queen in Scrappy's life. She was the plot twist. Imani, who had remained quiet through most of the drama, finally posted a cryptic Instagram story. Ain't no bonus moms in my story, just actors. It went viral within hours. Fans took sides. Some defended Britney, calling it an honest mistake. Others said she was playing Scrappy for clout, using his platform to rebrand her messy past. And still others wanted to know more about Brandon. They didn't have to wait long, because Brandon decided he wanted his camera time to .tmz, caught him outside an Atlanta courthouse holding documents. He told reporters, I'm filing for full custody of my daughter. Her mom too, busy playing girlfriend to file papers. I'm done waiting. Within 48 hours, the footage aired everywhere: shade rooms, blog channels, even a reaction from Tasha K, who called it the realest mess I've seen this year. She promised an exclusive. The comments exploded. Scrappy, meanwhile, had to go on damage control. Not just for his relationship, but for his brand. He canceled 2 appearances, released a vague statement about family privacy, and stayed off social media. But Mamadee, oh, she was just getting started. She started doing podcast interviews, talking about the importance of background checks, quoting scriptures, selling mugs that said married but mute in gold lettering. And when asked if she would ever accept Britney again, she smiled and said, God forgives. I remember. Britney was cornered. Her image was bleeding. Her ex was loud. Her lover was distant. Her secret was public. And now, she had a choice to make. Run from my tour, fight back. She chose to fight. But what she didn't know was that camera 2 had already caught something she never wanted the world to see. The footage wasn't supposed to exist. That's what made it dangerous. That's what made it nuclear. While Britney was doing damage control interviews, walking around in oversized sunglasses, and posting cryptic captions like I owe no one my truth, someone was already prepping the clip that would blow the entire thing wide open. Camera 2, the hidden side angle from a scene never aired, had caught a moment in the real estate office weeks before the scandal broke. It showed Britney on the phone, pacing back and forth, voice low but clear enough to pick up. No, I can't do this right now, Brandon. I told you, if the papers come through late, just hold them. I'm not ruining this over technicalities. I'm almost in. That last part, I'm almost in, hit the internet like wildfire once leaked. Who was she talking about? What was she in? The theories wrote themselves. Fans assumed she meant Scrappy. Others said she was playing VH1 for a contract, but the worst interpretation, the one that stuck, was that she had orchestrated the entire relationship for clout, money, and a platform. She wasn't just married, she was manipulating. The leak hit just as Britney was preparing to file her official divorce papers. Suddenly, the courts weren't just reviewing a civil filing. They were looking into perjury, fraud, and financial deception. Brandon, ever the opportunist, requested a full investigation, claiming Britney had been using their marriage status to get tax benefits and social leverage while publicly denying his existence. Scrappy saw the clip in silence. He didn't yell, didn't scream, he just shut the laptop, rubbed his eyes, and whispered, I'm done. He texted Britney for words. We need to talk. She replied instantly. Where? When? He didn't respond. She didn't know it yet, but the location had already been decided: family court, and it would be filmed when they arrived at the courthouse. Cameras were already stationed outside. Fans, bloggers, street team flyers with her face crossed out. In red, Mamadee stood tall in a fur-lined blazer, flanked by security, sipping from a thermos that almost definitely wasn't just tea. Imani didn't come. She refused. She said she was tired of watching grown people pretend they had morals, when none of them did. Inside, the energy was electric. Britney's legal team filed a countermotion to block the footage from being admissible. But the judge allowed it. The courtroom watched in pin-drop silence as camera 2 played out the now infamous clip. Britney sat frozen, her own voice echoing back at her like a confession. When it ended, the judge looked at her like she was something beneath the bench. Opposing lawyer didn't waste time. "Your Honor, we are not dealing with an accidental oversight. We are dealing with a woman who misrepresented her marital status, exploited a high-profile relationship, and continued to lie for gain." Scrappy sat still, numb, his eyes never left the bench. Britney's lawyer tried to spin it, claimed context, claimed stress, claimed trauma. But nothing stuck. The damage was done. Outside the courthouse, Tasha K was waiting like a lion in heat. She cornered Brandon for an exclusive. He delivered it with no filter. "She was always fake. She lied to me, lied to him, and now the world knows. I want custody of my child, and distance from that circus." The interview went viral in 40 minutes. VH1 scrambled. They pulled footage, scrubbed her bio, and started floating edits of the season finale that hinted at Britney's downfall being a cautionary tale of ambition turned deception. What was once a potential star arc turned into a villain edit. Before the reunion even aired, Mamadee hosted a live on Instagram later that night. "I said what I said. You can't plant seeds of deception and expect flowers of loyalty. My son didn't deserve that. My family ain't a launching pad for broken women trying to level up." Thousands watched. Comments flooded in with praise and memes. Britney trended on Twitter for 3 days straight. None of it was kind. But in the quiet aftermath, Britney sat alone. Apartment empty. Daughter asleep. Ring gone. She opened Instagram to type a caption, then deleted it. Tried again. Deleted again. She posted nothing, because for the first time, there were no words that could fix this. Scrappy, meanwhile, didn't celebrate. He didn't shade. He just stepped back. Started posting more of Imani, more of his music, less of his life. People noticed. Commented, "This the reset we needed." He didn't reply. Weeks later, Britney tried one last time. A private message. "I know, I hurt you. I just hope one day you understand why." It stayed on read. And just like that, the chapter closed. The wedding never happened. The house was never bought. The love, maybe it was real. But the truth buried it too deep to dig back up. And as for Mamadee, she left one final quote in a reunion teaser. "Next time you try to join royalty, make sure your name ain't still tied to the peasants." Fade to black. To black.